Monday night. Figured I'd jump on here and do a little rod work. Figured I'd let y'all join me. Hope y'all are having a great Monday. Old manic Monday. Y'all know how Mondays are. Y'all know how Mondays can be. Mondays are kind of annoying. But we got this beautiful piece right here we're going to be working on tonight. So we'll be on here about an hour and I don't even know what time it is. We'll be on here about an hour and a half or so or something like that. I'm going to get this big screen up so I can see the comments on here. Austin, what's up, brother? What is up? CBJ Fishing, y'all. Welcome, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? Palmetto Castaway, what's up, brother? Oh, it wants me to do an update on my phone or on my iPad or little pad right here. We're not going to do that. I'm going to bring it up on the big screen. What's up, Palmetto Castaway? How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well, man. Do a little rod work. Let's see. Okay, I had to check something there. It's Kate. I just changed my name. Do you remember me? Yeah, I sure do, brother. I remember you, man. I like the name change, brother. I like the name change, man. Been a wild weekend and beginning to the week. Man, I hate that for you, Palmetto Castaway. I hate that, brother. Hope it gets better. Hope Tuesday's better for you. Hope Tuesday's better for you. Hope Tuesday's better for you. Man, it's been a little bit of a wild Monday, too, man. This rain today had me about fed up. It's been raining here in South Carolina all day long. Well, at least half the day. It's been raining. Y'all, we got a catfish rod on right here. It's a casting rod. It's a 7-foot medium heavy casting rod we're building for my dad. And unfortunately, this guide right here is misplaced. It's in the wrong spot. So this beautiful guide you see right here on this rod, we got us a nice brand new razor blade right here. And y'all are going to get to go through the misery with me of cutting this awesome guide off and re-putting it on there where it's supposed to be. All right. Good evening, boss. Wayne, what's up? What's up? Welcome. How you doing tonight? Hope you're doing good on this Monday. Same, bro. The rain in Florida was so bad I had to leave my snook spot because the water was rising. Man, it almost got skidded out. It was under the bridge. Man, I hate to hear that, brother. Man, I hate to hear that. Man, we can't be having that happen. Yeah, that whole storm come up through the East Coast and hit everybody. I think everybody got a little taste of that storm this this weekend, I think. Ooh. Or not that week, this week, but y'all got it probably this weekend. We got it today. Called a slab though. That's what's up, man. A slab. It was pretty nice, man. That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. Yeah, y'all. I hate to say that, but we're gonna cut this guide off right here, and then we're gonna move it back to about right here, and we're gonna move it back to just right there, and we're gonna put it back on. It was pretty nice. I bet it was. Hey, make sure y'all tap that screen for me if y'all don't mind. Show some love. You know what I mean? Tap that screen for me if you don't mind. If y'all don't mind, I'm gonna set up a little camera right here because I'm gonna get a close-up view, so I can get some other footage on this. I'm gonna make a couple of videos out of this, so y'all don't be laughing at me. Y'all see my little setup? So y'all don't be laughing at me. I lost my tripod. I didn't lose it, but I lost a piece to hold the little action camera on. This little camera right here is a nice little camera, y'all. This little camera is what y'all see all them fishing videos I do. When y'all see it, you know what I'm saying? When y'all see it, it looks like you catching the fish with me. That's on that little action camera, little Costco, I think is what it's called. It's a pretty nice little camera, y'all. You know what I mean? We still getting the storms here in Michigan, 40-mile-an-hour wind. Man, I hate to hear that. Y'all be safe over there, Wayne. Y'all be safe. I have a request. Uh-oh. It depends on what the request is. I got to say that first. No. What you got, brother? What's up, man? What is up, brother? We're going to zoom this in. Y'all don't be laughing. Like I said, y'all be laughing at my little setup I got right here. I lost my tripod, okay? Let me set this up, and then I'm gonna let y'all watch me cut this thing. Let y'all watch me cut this thing right here. I hate when I have to do this, y'all. I hate when I have to cut the thread off. Yeah. It's not too bad. We'll slap it right back on there, though. We'll slap it right back on there. I ain't got that thing on camera. Give me just a minute, y'all. Nothing complicated. I got you. I was just messing with you, man. I was just messing with you. Sorry about that, y'all. My fault. Put y'all on the burner there. All right, I'm going to cut this thing off, y'all. I really hate to have to cut this off, but we got to move this guide back to about right here, so that's what we're getting ready to do. That's what we're getting ready to do. That's what we're getting ready to do. We still getting that storm here in Michigan. All right. We'll cut this side first. Oh, yeah. That's pretty tough. Boy. Cut my finger if I don't watch out. Off with the guide. Man, I hate taking guides off that I've already put all that work into. We still getting storms here. That's all, nothing complicated. That blue is beautiful. This blue is real nice, man. I'll show y'all this rod once I put this guide on. We're going to put a little bit of a color preserver on this. And I'll show y'all what this rod looks like. It looks really good. How far apart should the guides be? Well, it all depends on the size of the rod that you're using, and quite a few things there is what really kind of determines your guide placement. But generally, by the rule of thumb, we got a guide chart up here. I got a guide chart that I go by. You know, it's a standard rod placement chart. I'm messing around with this now, y'all. I don't like putting this on the blank. I don't like putting my blade on the blank, so I'm real careful with it, you know, especially down here towards the end. But on the rod, on the guide placement, it just depends. I have a list, and then what I do a lot of times is I take it and I put a reel on it after I put my guides on there with tape, and I put I put some stress on it and double it over and see where they I set the guides that way too. You know what I mean? That one was okay where it was at, but it just needs to be back a little bit more for cosmetics. It was the placement of it was okay. It was still work. It was fine. I already did the stress test on it, but when you looked at it, the gap placement and how it looked, I could still move it back, and we're only going to move it back just a little bit. And it's more of a cosmetic thing, is what that was. Let thread work. I'll let you thread work. I always just throw it on the floor, then I sweep it up later. You know what I mean? All right. So, I already made a few measurements on here. That wind's blowing pretty good here, too. I don't know if y'all can hear that. But that wind's blowing pretty good here, too. Let me get me a little mark if this marker will mark. It might not mark right now. 4, 9. I'll mark it. A little dry erase. This marker comes right off. I'll be using it all the time. Comes right off. Hope all is good, brother. Had a good time a couple times. Man, what's up? What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. How you doing? How you doing, Colin? Hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're doing good, brother. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well on this Monday. Hope everybody's doing good on this Monday. You know what I mean? A little slow Monday. We're raining here in South Carolina. Had a good yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, man, that's what it's all about, man. I enjoy. That's why I like doing lives too. I'm doing this kind of just to show the rod building, and people can learn a little something, maybe. You know what I mean? But I like talking about stuff and too. I like talking and everything. And no. Talk about cat. I'll tell y'all a little story right now. I get on Facebook sometimes, and I mean I stir things up. I don't try to, you know what I mean? But I got on Facebook earlier, and this guy said he would rather y'all hear me out. He said he would rather. This is a pretty big guy. He's got like 500,000 followers. Awesome fisherman, and he made a post and he said, "I would rather catch a 40-pound channel cat than 100 and double that, or even more than double, say." He said, I'd rather catch a 40-pound catfish, channel catfish, than catch a 120-pound blue cat. And everybody's coming on there and all this stuff. And I went on there and I said, considering that a 40-pound channel cat is probably most likely a state record in majority of the states here, and that's only 18 pounds shy of the world record, I said I would have to totally agree with you on that. You know what I mean? I'd rather catch a 40-pound channel cat than a 120-pound blue as well. Because trophy-wise, y'all do, I mean, a channel cat they don't get real big like that. You know what I mean? The world record's 56 pounds. So, you know what I mean? Like if you catch a 20-pound channel cat, that's considered a trophy fish. So I put that comment on there. And then some guy come on there and said, no, sir. He said, you are incorrect. He said, I live here in North Carolina, and our state record is 127 pounds. So basically, he was like, I know you're not right. And I come back and I said, well, man, I said, maybe for a blue cat, 127 pounds that's a big blue cat. That's a huge blue cat. You know what I mean? But amongst blue cats, that's not a real huge as far as trophies. You know what I mean? 160, 70, 80 pounds, you know what I mean? We got some pretty big blue cats, you know what I mean? And flatheads. But this guy was kind of arguing with me on there. And I'm like, dude, what are you even arguing about? Just Google it. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as a 127-pound channel cat. There might be, but no one knows about it. Because there's a lot of channel cat. There's a lot of channel cat here in the area I'm at. One of the big lakes I fish in, there's a lot of, I catch a lot of channel cats. And I always want to, because the world record's right here in South Carolina for channel cats. So, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to break that. I wouldn't mind breaking that world record. What's the blue cat record? What is I'm not sure. You talking about state record or world record on blue cat? I'd have to look that up, man. We'd have to look that up, man. Because I'm not 100% sure on that, exactly what the world record is on a blue cat. It's probably 160, 70, 80 pounds or something like that, I think. is what it should be. Blue cats get good size, man. You know what I mean? But channels don't get that big. Channel catfish don't get real. I mean, majority of people that catch channel catfish, they're in between eating size, which is perfect, up to about 6-7 pounds. You know what I mean? But if you Google it right now, if you catch a 20-pound catfish in this species, it is considered a trophy. A channel catfish, that is. We're talking about channel cat. I don't think that guy understood that. You know, I tried to explain to him. I was like, you know, but not in very many words, because if I can't, you know, I wrote it all down in a comment. So I mean, if you can't read that and see what's going on, I don't know if I can help you. You know what I mean? But he was all agitated or something like that. Like he wanted to prove me wrong. I'm like, man, you don't prove big ass wrong. You ain't gonna prove big ass Roz wrong about fishing. I know everything. You know what I mean? Shoot, you ain't gonna prove me wrong. Shoot. But I'm just saying, the dude kind of wanted to argue on me a little bit about it, you know, like I was wrong. You know what I mean? And if I'm wrong, and I've stood corrected plenty of times, y'all. I've been corrected many times in my life. You can guarantee that. I'll be the first to vouch for that. But I wasn't wrong about this one. All right, we're going to place this guide right where it's supposed to go. All right, I'm just going to center out my mark there. I can wipe it off. That stuff comes off. I'm going to place this pretty close to where I'm going to eyeball it up. I can adjust it a little bit later. We're not about putting no heat on this thing or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So we're not going to sit here and wrap this thing real tight on the first run. There's no need to. There's no need to. I just use a piece of Scotch tape, y'all. Hold my guide down. I put this tape on here to hold this guide down while I start my wrap. You know what I mean? That way it just helps me. You know, some people use rubber bands. They got stuff they sell at rod, but I use tape, y'all. I'm a budget rod builder. You know what I mean? Just like I build my arbors out of tape as well. The state record, I don't know what the state record here is in South Carolina, man. I'm not exactly sure. I know it's going to be way up there because we got some catfish manufacturing lakes around here. We got Santee Cooper, you know what I mean? Watery is a big old lake, and you got Moultrie. There's a bunch of Murray. There's a bunch of big lakes here in South Carolina that are abundant in catfish, blue cats, channels, and flatheads. So, and I've caught a lot of them. Palmetto Castaway's in here right now. He's caught a lot of them too. He does a lot of catfishing, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all sub up to Palmetto Castaway on here. How difficult it is to make the guides perfectly lined up. How it's not hard. They have lasers. That's what I was just kind of going over. It has lasers on it, and I can run a laser. I have a laser. So like at the end of it, what I usually do, man, is I put that thing up at the light and I look at it and I micro adjust each one of these. Once I get them micro adjusted, I put the color preserver on it, and that's like a sealer. That seals the thread down on this rod and seals the all the stuff down and makes it makes it stick, you know what I mean? This old rock, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing, this old rock? Hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're doing good. North Carolina is 127. See, that's the blue cat though, right? You know what I mean? That's the record for the blue cat. Not the record for the channel cat. The guy was confused on there, I believe, you know what I mean? That's why I wasn't gonna hit him with the, you know what I mean, with the knowledge too hard. I think he was thinking I was talking about blue cats, I was talking about channel cats. He heard reports today that the Mackinac area got over 30 inches snow. Man, I've heard a lot of people saying they got a lot of snow last night. I heard a lot of them were getting a lot of snow last night. South Carolina is 113. Man, I figured South Carolina would be bigger than North Carolina, y'all. I figured South Carolina would be bigger than North Carolina. Let me put y'all in on some knowledge right here. All right? Can y'all see that pretty good? What you got here is you got I've already sanded this guide down. See, I sand the tips of these guide feet down. I sand those down so I get an easy transfer from my blank up onto my guide foot. And that helps you out a lot whenever you're rod building, or if you're doing anything like this. Say you want to replace one of these guys or something. Get you a little Dremel or something like that. That's what I use on these. And I'm going to put another piece of tape on that. I don't like how wiggly it is. But you put you a nice little, y'all can see that little bevel down? I've done that with a little bitty Dremel tool. That is a pro tip. Y'all, any rod builder will tell you to do that. I mean, it's unless you got real heavy thread and you're doing a real big rod and stuff, unless you're doing that, you need to put a you need to put a nice little bevel on it, y'all. We'll take this and we'll set this right here. Like I said, I can adjust this guide later on, make little micro adjustments. If I want to be real quick, I've done it sometimes. I'll throw my little, it's a laser, and it shoots it right down the middle, and you just get on top of it and put your guides, line them straight up in the middle on your laser shooting down your rod blank. But that batteries are probably dead. I hardly ever use that thing, man. You know what I mean? No. I'll show you how I wrap one of these guides, you know what I mean? I'll show you how I wrap one of these guides up. This is a double-footed guide. You got to wrap both sides. You know. North Carolina's channel is 27. That's right. That's a big channel cap. You know what I mean? That's a big channel cap. South Carolina's 58. Yeah, that's the world record. It's marked as caught in Moultrie, the world record here in South Carolina, but it was actually caught in what's called the diversion canal. And what that is we got two big lakes here in South Carolina. One is Santee Cooper, Lake Marion, and the other one is Moultrie. Well, they have a diversion canal between Moultrie and Santee Cooper. And the reason they have that diversion canal is because stripers come all the way up from the ocean, and they travel all the way up into the river that I fish in right here to where I'm at, all the way from the coast. And that gives them a way to go from, instead of the dam stopping, they got a diversion canal, which y'all know what those are, and it lets them stripers make their way up here. If we didn't have that diversion canal, all these videos y'all see of me tearing stripers up and catching them and having a ball with them would not be nowhere near that, because them stripers would never be able to make it up here. So that diversion canal gives them stripers somewhere to, you know, when they're coming up river and they're spawning and doing their thing, they're heading up river, you know what I mean? Which is about to be livid here right now for them, you know what I mean? It's about to be livid. They're all in Santee Cooper right now. See, that's how I know when they're coming. I watch the reports downriver. Santee Cooper and Moultrie's downriver from us. And I see everybody blowing up the stripers right now. What that means is they're coming up. And here in about a few weeks, they'll be right here where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Your boy don't need no sonar for that. Ha! All right, everybody. I'm going to show y'all real quick. I'm going to show y'all real quick how we do this. When I'm wrapping a guide, I start and I tape it. Some people don't tape it. I tape my thread down like that. Get my thread taped down on it. And then I wrap it across my guide. I come like this. I come over my guide. It don't matter how you come across that thing, as long as you come across it. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out like this, and I'm going to find my spot right there. And I'm going to come around. And once I get to this point, I've straightened up my thread. I'm going to wrap it back over that thread that I just came with. And what that's going to do, y'all, is what I'm doing right now is I'm locking down the thread. Is what I'm doing. A lot of people wonder how this is done. What I'm doing right now is I'm locking down that thread. Now, I was going this way. Now I'm starting to thread back towards me. And all I'm doing is locking down the thread on this. We'll just put some light in there. Oh, big ass rod. Papa getting old with his eyes. This blue thread on this, there we go. After about 3 or 4 wraps, you can take your tape off that you had on back here. Go ahead and get that out of the way. You know what I mean? Get my little handy dandy cutters right here. You know what I mean? These things are sweet right here. You can get these on Amazon. These are nice. I don't have to be real pretty with this. I just got to get that tail end off. We're going to cut that off and get that out of the way. We don't need that no more. And now, we're just going to pull this thing like this. Keep our thread tight. And we're going to make our way back towards that blank. Just like that. Use my I use my fingers there to keep it kind of tight right at the beginning, get it going. A lot of people use hand wrappers or power wrappers and stuff. I don't use one. I don't believe in power wrappers, y'all. You want to know why I don't believe in power wrappers and why I don't like them? Because I can't afford one. Oh goodness, that's why. This is Dan's daughter. Thank you so much for the video. I'm super excited. Hey, how are you doing? I'm glad I'm so glad you got that video. Look at me on here joking all around. I'm putting a guide on right now if you want to hang around. Y'all, this Ava's Dan's daughter, y'all, over there at Thump 'em Soft Plastic. She's building a custom rod, y'all. How old are you? How old are you, Ava? How old are you? What's up, Chris? Jeanette, how are y'all doing? Welcome. Y'all see right now, I'm starting to bring this thread up on this guide foot. And that transfer that I'm talking about, because I sanded that guide foot down, is what's making this 10 times easier. If not, what happens is you see it coming up on this thread right here, or the thread coming up on the foot, it just keeps popping down. It'll just keep falling down, and you can never get it to go up on that guide like you want it to. So, now that we rode up on this foot, now we're coming up on the foot pretty good. We can go ahead and get this piece of tape out of the way. We just had that there for security right now. Y'all, I was kidding about that. If I could get a power wrapper, if anybody wants to send me funds for a GoFundMe or whatever however that thing works, for a power wrapper, I'm all about it. I've hand wrapped every single rod I've done, y'all. I've done over 65 rods. I've built 65 custom fishing rods. And every one of them I've turned right here on this little wooden hand wrapper you're looking at. All hand wrapped. No power included. The only time I use power is when I'm drying it on the dryers. All right, y'all. We're about probably about 1/8 of the way to the end of this wrap where I want to end it. All right. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this, what I have ready already is some thick thread. All right. Now we're going to take this thing. This is going to be our pull through. This is how we're going to get rid of this thread. I'm going to show you how I do that right here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the bottom of this guide, because the bottom of this guide is what you're not seeing. It's a casting rod. So I'm going to do all my work at the bottom of this guide, and I'm going to keep all of my stuff under there. So all my tag-ins, all my stuff, if anything don't look good, it's going to be on the bottom of this rod. It's not going to be on the top. It's not going to be as visible. You know what I mean? Always take your loop end. That's what you're going to use to pull through your thread. Always put it in the way you are threading, which I'm going to do right now. I'm going to set that thing in there just like that, and I'm going to pull that thread over the top of it like that. Now I've locked that thread in, or my pull-through thread in. And I'm just going to keep this thread going. We're going to keep rolling with it. Keep it pretty nice. You don't want to get real crazy tight right here, y'all. Don't get crazy tight on this part right here, because if you do, it'll be hard to pull that thread through. You don't want to be crazy tight. You're just putting a little tension on it. Just a little bit of tension. These are a little bit more, when you're doing a double-footed guide, it's a little more complicated, because you wrap from the outside in, and you got to do your pull-through underneath your guide. So I'm going to get this up here where I want it, which right there is looking pretty good. I'm going to do a pull around. I don't want it to be too long. All right. Now that we're at this point, y'all, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to set it right here. And I'm going to hold this thread down, because if we don't, we're going to be in for a treat. We're going to take that thread and we're going to push it through that little hole we made right there. Just like we're going to wrap it around another wrap. Instead, we're going to go through that hole with it. Just like I just did. Spitting on my stuff, y'all. Once I pull that through, I have a hold of my thread now. I'm going to grab this end of the thread. I'm going to let that end go, and I'm going to pull this tight. This is going to get my thread right up to it. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Now at this point, I got two ends. I got my pull through, and I got my thread left. I'm going to cut what excess. We don't need all that. I'm going to cut that off there. Now at this point, I'm going to pull that thread right through. We're going to make that thread seal on itself, and it's going to lock that thread down. Make sure you get a good hold of that. A little pull through just like that. Now, if you look on there, you can see how that thread comes through. Right there. How that thread's coming through on that now. And that's how you pull through a thread. Once you get it up like this, you got your sharp. All right. The way we was threading, remember, we was threading that way. So we want to take our pull in through, and we want to pull it back slightly the direction we was threading. So we're going to take that, we're going to pull it back slightly that way. What that's going to do is that's going to open the thread up just a little bit. So when we cut this thread, it's going to suck right back down in that little spot we made. That's the plan. All right, so I'm going to pull it back a little bit till I see my thread a little bit there. I'm trying to do this where y'all can kind of see it, but it's hard. I'm going to pull it back a little bit. Pop that off. This is called a varnishing tool. It's really handy. Helps you straighten up your thread. Like that. Take a little thread on that like that. I'm going to varnish it back and forth just lightly on that. Right where I put that thread through there. And I'll tell y'all what. If anybody can find out where I pulled that thread through, send you a big-ass rod koozie. I'm just kidding, y'all. Y'all, that's how you do a guide wrap on there, you know what I mean? And the thing is to do that on underneath it, y'all, like I was saying, do it underneath that guide, so because you're fishing, it's up like this. So you're never going to see the bottom. So if you have any imperfections, if the pull through ain't quite right or something like that, it's always on the bottom. It's not on the top. You don't see it. And if you're doing a spinning rod, you know, you want to do it the opposite. You want to do it down here with the foot because you're going to be seeing the top side of that guide. You know what I mean? Subscribe. Somebody really appreciate that. Appreciate that subscription. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Birch and Bullet, what's up, man? Sorry I missed you, brother. Sorry I missed you on there, man. Have a great night, brother, man. Have a great night, brother, man. Have a great night, man. Oh, what's up? Man, how you doing, Chris? How's the weather over there in California, bro? How's the weather over there in California? How's the weather in California? Thump them soft plastic. Ava, you got to do it on the foot side because you're doing a spinning rod. That's correct. That is absolutely correct. Yep. So just like the opposite I just did, on the bottom here's where I did my pull through. You want to do your pull through up here with the foot. You know what I mean? That way, you know, because that's when I first did when I built my very first rod, that's what I did. I learned that the hard way. I did it, and y'all, my first rod, you could see my pull throughs. You could see where they were on there. It wasn't bad. It looked good. It looked okay. But when I seen it, I was like, man, if I'd have just done that on the other side, and nobody ever told me that. I was just sitting there staring at this rod, and I'm like, man, if I would have just done that on the other side, I wouldn't be staring at it right now, you know. And it stuck with me from then on. Ever since then, I've done my pull throughs. I've done my pull throughs with the. Now, there's been a few times I might have gotten carried away doing some, and I might have, missed a few, but not a whole lot. I'm 17. Okay, 17. That's awesome. That's what I'm talking about. I love to see the younger generation getting into something like that or doing something like that. Even if it doesn't stick with you, I mean, even if something like that, it's good to build a custom fishing rod like you're doing. Because then you can just fix it anytime you want down the road. You can fix a rod, do whatever you want. Don't think my comments are coming through. Hope y'all have a blessed night. Much love. Glad to see the best rod builder time. Man, appreciate you. Appreciate you, Palmetto Castaway. I don't know if I seen your comments or not, man. I was running my own mouth there. That's the only one I see, brother. That's the only one I see on there. All right. We're going to do this other guide. I'm just going to kind of go through it. I'm going to go through it with y'all. We'll slap it on there, and we can take this other piece of tape off now because that guide's not going nowhere. We got that other side of the thread on there. And when you do this, I suggest getting a multimeter or multi-tool, not multimeter. Like I can't even think of the name of the thing. So you can measure these things. I can't think of the name right now, y'all. It's been a long day. So you can measure each side of this, so you can get it kind of, get it right. So you can have it uniform. Which me, I'm so good. I already know where to go with it. But when you're first starting out, all right. We're gonna go on the opposite side of our guide. We're gonna start on this side that we did before. We're gonna come across the top of that guide a couple times. It don't matter how many times you wrap it that way, however many you feel comfortable. And I am running a single guide wrap on these. I'm not double wrapping it. Not on this guide. The ones down low where I was. Now I'm coming back across my thread. Now what I've done is I've switched directions. I've started going back that way, and I'm wrapping over the thread that I just now came across with. After about 5 wraps, we can get rid of this tape right here. This thing's just hanging out now. We're going to get rid of it. That's just a tag in. We'll cut it off. Like I said, that one ain't got to be pretty, y'all. There's nothing got to be pretty about that one. I suggest every now and then stopping, making sure your stuff's tight. You don't want to get too far ahead. It gets kind of hard if you get too far ahead and you get little gaps in your thread. If you get too far ahead of yourself with the thread, you get too many wraps past where you have a few gaps, it gets a little more difficult to adjust it and correct it. It can be corrected, it's just a little more difficult. That transaction right there is the world of difference, y'all, whenever you sand down this guide right here and you make that transaction from your guide foot to your blank smooth. Get a Dremel on your guide feet and make a ramp. Your guide feet, the end of your guide feet kind of look like that from the factory. They sit on that blank and they look like that. You want to sand that thing down so it does that. So when that thread comes up, it got a smooth, gradual incline coming up on the guide blank. It just saves you a lot of. It gets so annoying trying to get it over that. All right, we're about 1/8 of the way up. We are going to take our pull through thread, loop, facing the way we are threading on the bottom side of the guide because we are doing a casting rod. That way, that pull through has room for error and not being so noticeable. It can get tricky when you get closer up to these guides on the back side, or the forward side of the guides, because they want to ramp up on you just got to keep a tight grip on it. Now I got about 5 or 6 wraps over that. I'm going to put my finger there and hold that thread down. Keep it from getting crazy on me. We have our little loop right here. We're on my side now, and I ain't going to risk the biscuit, so I'm going to go ahead and put it through there. But the loop, we go back through the loop that we put through on our thread pull through. Take our tag in. Boom, put it through that loop. Now that we're through that loop, we got to hold that thread through the loop, pull our pull through thread till it gets snug right there. That way it holds this and doesn't let that go. Get our tag end off. We only want about 1 inch or 2 on that when we pull it through. When you're on the end of your blank, Ava, if you're still in here, this is a good tip. If you're on the end tip of your blank, if you're down towards the end of your blank where it's real flimsy and you're putting these guides on, make sure when you do these pull throughs, sometimes you get carried away. I do too, and you make them a little tight on it. It gets hard to pull through. Make sure you secure your blank when you pull this through, okay? But if you don't, if you keep your thread tension not real hard, just a good steady, you'll get the feel of it when you go. It's not bad. These pull throughs, mine won't be either. But I'm going to show for reference. Hold both sides of your blank when you pull it. You don't want to sit here and hold this in like this, like I'm holding right now, and then snatch this through. It'll make this end pop up. It'll pull it. I mean, you got to make sure that you don't, if you're out towards the end of your blank where it's real smaller and you're getting towards the tip, be very careful when you do your pull throughs in. Sometimes I grab a hold of it like this just to keep the blank from, from any kind of popping through and stuff. Okay, we pulled that through. A little higher up than I wanted it to be. But that's a good tip right there for the end of the blank down there. Because it does get flimsy on you. You'll see it's really, it's not bad, but it's just, if you just watch what you're doing, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Is my man responding to chats at all? I was getting a little carried away there, Bubba. Mr. Steamer. What is Mr. Steamer? I get a little carried away when I get to building the rods, man. What is that, my man? Brum Nooper. Man, I don't even know how to say that name, man. I can't even say that. I can't even say that name, man. I don't want to say it and butcher it. I don't want to butcher your name on there. I'm not even sure what your name is. Ha! I hope you're doing good tonight, though, man. I hope you're doing good, man. I don't want to butcher your name like that and say it bad, say it wrong name there. Get a little bit of that thread work on, though. I can see. Hope everybody can see. Keep it kind of tight up there, y'all. Keep my thread tight. I'll straighten up a little bit later. That's not bad. That's not bad there. Now our placement is much better. This guide was about right here, and that's all it took, y'all. Had to cut that thing off. Shout out to the moderators. Yeah, we got some awesome moderators in here. I'd seen a few of your comments though. I seen a few of your comments on there. I was getting a little carried away into the thread work there, y'all. All we got on the end of this, y'all give me about 5 more minutes and I'll show y'all what this rod looks like, all right? I'll show y'all what this rod looks like in just about 5 more minutes. Now, when I don't wrap guides and I'm just going up against a thread, I just come out here like this in front of the thread that I'm wrapping and I come towards it like that. Boom. And I just hit it. Line it up on the thread right there and then I start bringing it back across my thread. Just like that. Get a couple of good wraps on it. I got to do this a little smaller because there ain't much thread going on right here. There ain't much. I'm not working with much room here, so we're gonna pull it back up. Not a lot of people go on live rod building to show you the ugliness of it. All right, I got my pull in through. I'm making this thread right here is small. I don't have a lot of room to work with, so I got to put my tie in right after I get my pull through. I got to do it all right here together. It'll look solid though when I'm done with it. I hate doing, like these like trim bands. I can do them smaller and weave in some thread, but we ain't getting into that tonight. This is fine right here. All right, we're gonna cut that off and pull it through. All right, we got our pull through on that. I always straighten it up. I always straighten my edge up before I even cut my pulling through. I always get a nice edge on it, y'all. And this varnishing tool is really nice. It works good, but I use my finger more than anything. I've gotten used to doing that. Ooh. That metallic stuff is not as bad with the pull-throughs. You hardly ever see the pull-throughs on the metallic stuff. All right, we'll slap this other trim band on, and then I'll show y'all what this rod looks like. All I was doing was oh, don't come out of there. There we go. Rub it back on itself, locking down my thread to the blank. When I have real small ones like this, I do have to cut the thread, but this is why I have a real sharp razor blade, so it does not cut the blank. All right, let's get our pull through. We're gonna go underneath the guide, out of sight, with our loop the direction we are threading. That is very critical. Like I said, Ava, on there, it's critical to go put that loop in the direction you are threading. I kind of blew this one out over here. I'm gonna have to adjust that other one, but we'll do it. I'll do it in a little bit. Put it through our loop, pull down, keep a hold of it. I do not suggest cutting it that short, that quick. Anybody that, Ava, don't cut it that short whenever you, like I just did. I do that. I've been doing it for a while. That's why I get moving and I get it. You get you a good, cut it off later like I just did right there. Don't be trying to push through there and cut. When you get your long end like this, leave yourself 6 inches when you go to put it through your loop. Don't do like I just did. I've been doing this for a while. And that has costed me before, honestly. I've had this much of it and trying to put it through them. Lost it. You know what I mean? And I lost it. I done lost the chat on here. Why did I lose my chat? I can't see none of the chat no more. What happened to my chat? What's the yellow stick? It's a varnishing tool. Why did I lose my chat? It just popped back up. I got way behind. Sorry, y'all. I got way behind on the chat. I lost it. I lost my chat there, y'all. In your hand. This is a varnishing tool. This is used right here to smooth out the thread, to straighten it up, instead of using your fingers, which is what I'm using all the time. You know what I mean? Is my fingers on here. Might have to redo that. That's a little bit, that side ain't as long as I want it to be. Y'all hang in there with me for a minute. See how that little ring, just that little thing makes it pop, y'all. That little bit on the end of it just makes it changes the whole guide. Y'all, we're going to redo this one. It's been a while since I've done that. I pulled through on that. That pull through is kind of bigger than I want it to be. Put one on there like that. All right. I'm going to cut it short. I'll have to fight it the whole time. We ain't trying to do that. All right. Get under our guide here. Put our pull in through. Let's do this again, y'all. My eyes are messing with me, y'all. Tonight. I done work too hard today at my regular job. That's why I need to start fishing for a living, man. I need to start fishing for a living, y'all. I'd build custom rods for a living if I could. As crazy as it sounds, I can't, though. I just can't do it. Cut our tag end off there. Pull it through. I'm going to pull it back down. I wanted to pull it through a little more than that, but got it kind of on the side of my side, kind of off almost, not quite under my guide like I wanted it, but that's all right. On that metallic, like I say, on that metallic thread, it disappears. They just disappear on you. Try to keep up with those comments, y'all. Private message, y'all. You won't ever. You will. Actually, I'm not gonna say you'll mess a few up. It's inevitable. You will mess a few up. I'll show y'all what this rod looks like real quick. Y'all been watching me put this guide on it now forever. I'll show y'all what the whole rod looks like. It's a nice rod. It's coming along good. We're getting ready to. I'm gonna show y'all what this rod looks like, and then we're gonna put the tip on it. Once I make sure my guides are straight real quick. Trying to be quiet and make sure my son went to sleep. My son's supposed to be going to sleep. I'll make sure he went to sleep. Y'all like that hand threader right there? I'll show y'all what this rod looks like. It's nice. It's a really nice rod. It's a really nice fishing rod there. Let's get the old magic wrapper out the way. I'll show y'all what that thing looks like right there. Check that thing out, y'all. It's a 7'6" medium heavy. It's got a moderate action with a medium heavy power to it. We're going to put a decal in right here. Put a nice decal in. It's for my dad, and he told me just put a good decal in there for him. So I'm still thinking about what decal I'm going to put on this thing. But it's got that nice, man. It's got them nice grips on it, y'all. Matching reel seat. Nice spot right here. Awesome, awesome marble job on it. My dog. There's the first guide. That marble comes all the way up to. That marble comes all the way up to that first guide, which is nice. That really sets it off. And then the guide we just did. We just fixed this guide in between that guide and that guide. This is the guide we had to just now replace or fix the placement on it. Boom. That thing is sweet, y'all. 7'6", medium heavy. I'm also trying to get her little details as you go. I'm super excited for her building a rod. Man, I am too. Y'all make sure y'all keep me updated on that rod too, man. I definitely want to know. And anytime, hey, if y'all want to reach out, Dan, it don't matter when anything, man. I'll make videos for y'all. It don't matter. Any videos you want for anything. I'm getting ready to put a tip on this real quick. It ain't too much to that, though. When you're using a wrap setup, which is very similar to what I'll be using, do you use hair ties to hold down the Yeah. Yeah, that's what those are. Those are hair ties. You're exactly right. I take it right out of my hair and put it on there. That is exactly what I use. I get one of them, get like 20 of these for $1.25 at Dollar Tree. But that is exactly what I use to hold it down, Ava. You're correct. This rod is sweet, y'all. This rod is sweet. Let's see if we can get the end down here where we need it to be. Get y'all down here with me. Give me just a minute, y'all. It's double footed up to here. The last 1, 2, 3, 4. The last 4 guides are not double footed. They're all single footed on this casting rod. I don't like to put double foot guides down here on the end of my casting rods like this because it's just it's not necessary, and they're big and bulky and they just add weight to it and sensitivity gets all up long. This being a catfish rod, sensitivity ain't crazy. I'm a girl with 1.5 million hair ties. Then you'll be good there. BSR Senior. That's right, Thumpum. That's what I need to put on it, huh? That's what I need to put on it there. That's what I need to put on it. All right, we'll slap this tip on real quick. Let me look at something real quick though, y'all. Let me just take a little look. I know my guides. The only guide that might be slightly off is the one we just put on. I've already had all my other ones straightened up. Yeah. Oh yeah. See, I told you I'm good. I'm telling you I'm good. I'm good at this rod building stuff. I'm telling you. Pretty good at it. I'm just kidding, y'all. Y'all don't listen to me. I'm coming back. Oh, man. Y'all. Thumpum Soft Plastic there in the chat's an awesome custom bait maker. Make sure y'all check him out. If y'all need any kind of baits, I don't care what kind of soft plastic you might need. That man will hook you up. You want to get your face put on a cup? Holler at him. Thumpum Soft Plastic is awesome, y'all. Me and him do a lot of business together. Good buddies. We'll be fishing one day together soon, too, hopefully. Thumpum Soft Plastic is the man for your baits, y'all. Man for the baits. All right, here, we're going to grab some of this. I need a lighter. I don't know if I even have one. We'll get us a tip. Tip tops. Let me get a lighter somewhere, y'all. Okay. All right. Get y'all down here with me. We'll put a guide on here. We'll put a tip on it. So down here with me. Can y'all see that tip? Can y'all see that tip on there? All right. You get this. My light went off. You get this stuff on Amazon. All it is just it's glue that we use for a tip top, y'all. My tip top's gonna be slightly bigger than my guide. Let's see here. It's not that one. This one is for this tip right here. We'll put it on in just a minute too. That one goes on the subscriber's rod. Little tip top. Get my blade. I like to cut a little sliver off. I like to cut a little piece off. this. Once you heat this stuff up, it turns into like glue. And then once it dries, it sticks. And it hardens up. Cut me off a few little slivers here. I like to put a little sliver or two inside of the cylinder of my guide tip first, just to have some up in there too. It doesn't matter if you overdo this a little bit. A little extra doesn't hurt when you put this glue in here. A little extra don't hurt. You want a little extra than little more than you need is better than not having enough. This old rock's heading out, man. Appreciate you joining us. Have a great night. Have a great night. Great night. Appreciate you. All right. Get this shoved down in there good. That shouldn't be too awfully bad there. Woo! I like to use my little torch lighter, but I don't have it with me. Oh, put a little bit of that on there. We'll heat this up just a little bit. Oh, I can heat that up again in a minute. We'll heat this up just a little bit. Once I start heating this up, it'll start bubbling out. Once it starts to bubble out a little bit, it's time to put it on. A little bit of bubbling. Get a little bit of bubbling. We'll heat this up just a little bit. Get it back moving. Line it up pretty straight. Y'all, if you don't get this exactly straight when you put it on and you check it out later, you can adjust. You can adjust. Pull off your excess right there. Like a little booger. You get your little razor blade right there. Just clean it up a little bit. Clean it up just a little bit. Had to secure it on there. K Fishing Pro, what's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? That thing's got a tip on it right there. Y'all, look what I did. Look what I done. Look what I done did, y'all. Don't be doing stuff like that, okay? Y'all don't. If you start building rods, don't do stuff like this. That tip's on there. That tip's on there. My dog just all of a sudden decides that she wants to start pigging out. Y'all, what we got left to do to this is we're gonna put color preserver on all these threads right here. And what the color preserver... I just pulled my thread off, y'all. Look what y'all did. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's it. That's it. I didn't care for that one too much anyway. But like I said, we'll put the I'm just kidding, y'all. We'll put the color preserver on these. It'll thread these seals on this. It'll seal the threads. Y'all, I'm dyslexic. It'll seal the threads on that and preserve the color on it. When we put the epoxy on it, it won't lose its color and everything. Check these sweet things out. I'll show these to y'all real quick. Speaking of Thump 'em Soft Plastic, check those things out. Whoo-wee! That's called Glow Wonder, y'all. That's Thump 'em Soft Plastic right there. In the chat, y'all see. Check them things out. Yeah, they glow in the dark. Things are awesome, y'all. That's That's just the tip of the dagger. Double soft plastic's got all kinds of custom baits over there, y'all. He's doing all kinds of stuff. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, y'all. Mm-hmm. Do as I say, not as I do. Messing up like an amateur, that's right. Yeah, I hope you're doing good, K Fishing Pro. Hope you're doing good. Monster Fishing 710. Let me get some, man. Shoot, man. Man, these rods, these fishing rods are expensive, man. Y'all check out this thing right here. Y'all want to see a rod? Y'all want to see a nice rod? Check that thing out right there. Ooh, we about to put a tip on this rod too. Look at that. That thing's sweet right there. This thing glows in the dark. All this marble work you see right there, that glows in the dark. All that glows in the dark, baby. Check that thing out. Boy, feast your eyes on that chevron decorative wrap on that bad boy right there. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. That's a sweet looking rod. That's a sweet looking fishing rod right there, boys and girls. Custom built that bad boy right here in this shop. We're about to put a tip on it as well. That thing is that rod right there is nice, y'all. Though I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. We're getting ready to do another what we call a live rod build. We're getting ready to start one. I think I'm gonna do a nice. I think we're gonna do a nice decorative wrap on them on these rods that are coming up for the giveaways. Those are on Facebook though. Richard said, "Hey, appreciate that, man. That thing is sweet." Jeanette said, "Where's mine?" My man said, "Please." He said, "Let me get one of them, please, bro. Let me get one of them, please." I want to make sure I don't miss him. I was looking for man. I don't forgot his name. He was in here last night. I forgot his name now. Y'all, let's put a. Oh, this one's so small. We're not even gonna put no glue inside of it. We're just gonna put it on the stick. You know what I mean? Make sure I got this thing sized up right. Oh yeah. Nice fine tip on that bad boy. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get that varnishing tool out of the way. Put this tip on this bad boy. Y'all, if you reverse the process, you heat the tip of your, some of it has thread on it, but if you can you heat the end of that up and you take your tip off too. If your tip's messed up or something like that, you can get this glue on Amazon and you can reverse the process. You can take it off as well, same way you put it on. I know some of y'all probably know that, but I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. All I've got to do is put a little bit of thread on the tip of this. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't put thread on the tip just because for a little sensitivity, especially on like bass fishing rods and stuff like that. I sometimes like to leave the tip like that. I know it's not the most beautifulest thing, but it does two things. It helps keep your sensitivity and lightness and the action on the end of your rod. And it also makes it to where if you ever need to replace this tip, all you got to do is get that instead of getting a heat gun and stuff and a razor blade and taking all your thread off that's on the end of it, all you got to do is heat it up with a lighter, and you can remove that thing right back off there. You know what I mean? Because it's on there now. It ain't coming off. But if I do like this right here, y'all, I usually use my torch. And that thing will come right back off. All it takes is a little bit of heat. Just takes a little bit of heat. That tip ain't on there with much. There ain't a whole lot on that tip. Put a glob of it on there. There we go. I'll show y'all what this rod looks like too. This rod is a sweet rod right here as well. This thing is nice. It's a 7 foot. It's a medium. It's a moderate. Medium with a moderate action on it, y'all. It's a sweet rod. Good night. You're welcome, Ava. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you. And good luck to you. Good luck to you. Man, I keep losing crankbaits on logs, but I'm a beast with the lipless. Man, you got to crank it faster. Keep it off them logs, brother. You got to crank that thing, man. You got to crank that thing, bro. Y'all, this rod is pretty sweet. 7 foot, medium action. This is an awesome spinning rod. It's got the split grip on it. All the marble you see right here glows in the dark. It's got the nice thread work on it. I'm going to put one more coat of epoxy on this rod. Slap this decal on it, and it's going out the door. Have a great night, Ava. I use hot glue on mine in the last I twist. It's been in the hot car. Man, it got good and hot in that car then, didn't it? It got good and hot in that car. Man, you're gonna have to do some look for some river jewelry or some bank jewelry, man. That's what I do. I'll go out to the lake, and if the fish ain't biting, man, I'll go out there and I'll go out there to the trees and stuff and get everybody's bait they couldn't get. Take a pole saw and stuff out there with me. You see me at the lake with a pole saw, you know what I'm doing. I'm looking for everybody's lures they lost way up in the trees. I'll get out there in a kayak with a little telescopic pole saw and stuff, or I'll use one of my telescopic golf ball grabber thing, and then I'll just go through there, and if the fish ain't biting, I'll just, everybody that couldn't, all the people that were fishing from the bank, get them stuck out in the trees out there, and I'll get out there in a kayak, and I get them down. Sometimes I'll take a stick and I'll put a pair of scissors on it, just like a pole saw. Cut that thing right out of the tree. Y'all think I'm bullcrapping? That's the funny part. Y'all think I'm bullcrapping about that? Y'all think I'm kidding, man? Yeah, I found some good musky lures on kayaks when the water was low. Heck yeah, man. Or like the dam, I'll go up to the tail race up by the dam. You go up there and you get across the river on your kayak on the rocks when the water's low, and you can find all kinds of weights. You can find all kinds of terminal tackle over there. What's up, Bristol? What's up, girl? This is my chocolate lab come to visit us in here, y'all. She come to visit us in here. Oh, man, we're going to have to wrap this up soon, y'all. Hang around for just a minute. I'm going to show y'all a couple of awesome custom fishing rods we got going to wrap this live show up. And then we're going to call it a night. But y'all stick around for a minute. I'll show y'all some pretty sweet rods real quick. Go over some of the rods we got going. Watch out, Bristol. I'll let you out in just a minute. Plus, my dog needs to go outside. But I'll show y'all some of these rods we got going. Update on them. A lot of these rods are fixing to hit the door right now. Just like this one right here. This one's called the Patriot. This is a 7'6" medium heavy spinning rod. It's got an awesome reel seat on it, y'all. American flag reel seat. Just like always, it's got a nice spot right here we left for a decal. It's got that red, white, and blue theme. Red, white, and blue marble job on it. It's got that red, white, and blue theme. It's a pretty sweet rod. We got to put a tip on it too as well. That's the only thing it's lacking is a couple of coats of epoxy and a nice tip on it. But y'all, that's a sweet catfishing rod right there. Musky, whatever. I mean, you can fish for all kinds of stuff with that right there. That's a really sweet little heavier species rod. We got this one going. Oh, hot pink right here. We're doing this one for a lady that runs a page called Hookers and Bobbers. This is a nice pink setup, full grip, spinning rod. Got a nice spot for a decal as well right here. Nice marble job, like always. Them marble jobs are awesome, y'all. Them things pop. But that's a sweet rod right there as well, spinning. That is a 7-foot rod right there with a moderate action. It's a medium weight. Medium or whatever, you know. Whatever, y'all know. We found some good hard baits for eyeing to paint when the water goes. Oh, yeah, I bet you can, man. I bet you can. I bet you can find some good ones like that, Dan. I bet you can. I bet you can, brother. I love doing that stuff. Y'all, this right here is another split grip rod spinning. This is a sweet rod. It's a light power with a moderate fast action. It's going to be used for panfish. This thing is sweet right here. We're going to put a big decal right here. Huge decal right there that says Perch Jerker. Boom. Then we're going to put another decal up here. Carolina Kayak Catfish Layers. This is going to be kind of like his panfish / you know, bait rod. This marble job right here glows in the dark. This thing is sweet right here, y'all. It's got that neon green on all the guides on it. This rod right here is going to be a looker too when it gets out there on the water. That one's going to North Carolina as well. Show y'all another one. We'll show y'all Junior right here. We'll show y'all two more. We'll go from the heavy rods to the lighter rods. This is Junior Patriot right here. This is the same as that rod almost over there. It's a 7-foot light power, moderate action, moderate fast. Has a nice spot right here for a Marine decal. I love my veterans. I love my military. I love my troops. We support them to the fullest here at Big S Rods. And he's in the military. He's in the Marines. We're going to put a Marine decal right here. We're going to put his last name on this thing. And he's going to be catching some trout while he's not, you know, protecting the country for us. So, love to do stuff for our veterans and our troops and everybody like that. This Patriot rod right here really, really stands out for him, too. We're going to send that to Montana up there and let him do that while he's taking his break from, you know, being awesome out there. And then we'll go down to this ultralight right here. Woo, that one's sweet. It's got a nice color combination. It's got a spiral wrap on it. The spiral wrap turned out pretty good on that thing. You know, I did a blue guide, yellow guide, blue guide, yellow guide, and blue, yellow. You get the picture. You know what I mean? It's a nice spinning rod, full grip. It's got some real nice light Fuji guides on it. This rod right here is sweet. Sweet for the panfish. It's got a nice action on it. You can really wiggle that worm. You can really wear that worm in front of that perch's forehead with that rod. We got quite a few, but I ain't going to spoil y'all by showing them all off tonight. Y'all, I ain't lying. I got about 6 rods going right now. It's crazy. Got about 6 of them going. Are the marble patterns a sort of heat shrink wrap? Nope. They're all hand done, man. They're all hand done. What I do is I hand paint them. I use my epoxy and I put a coat of epoxy on the rod. You know what I mean? And then after I put the coat of epoxy on the rod, I put powder pigment colored for painting, and I mix it with my epoxies in different batches, what colors I want. and I go on there and I paint that on there, man, and I just go crazy with it and make it look marble-ish, you know, like that. So it's not a wrap. You can get wraps that look similar to that, you know. Make sure you're subbed up to the page there, brother. I think you are, man. But yeah, I'll be posting videos. We're going to be doing a few more rod builds starting here soon, and there's definitely going to be some marble involved, and I'll be on here doing it. You know, when I do the marble jobs and all that cool stuff, all that real stuff like that, I'll make sure I save it for the lives. You know what I mean, so I can share that stuff with y'all. Where can I get one of these? I just broke my crappy rod today, man. I hate to hear that, man. I hate to hear that, y'all. Let's take a moment of silence right here, if y'all don't mind, for Hayden. Man lost his crappie rod. All right, there we go. I hate to hear that, brother. Man, if y'all, you know, if anybody's interested in rod building, y'all want to talk about rod building, you want to talk about maybe purchasing one of these beautiful rods and getting in a long line, then you can email me, y'all. Y'all can email me from here. Y'all can email me on Big S Rods. Just write out Big S Rods. BIGSRODS @outlook.com. And you can email me anything over there and I'll get back with you. We can talk about rods, do whatever, you know. I mean, if you're serious about getting a rod build, we got to end up talking on the phone anyway, but that's how you get in contact with me from here from YouTube. If you look me up on Facebook, you can message me there on there as well. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of on Facebook. That's usually what I'm on. Good night, Wayne. Appreciate you, man. Have a great night. We're getting ready to wrap this up too, y'all. North said I subbed. Awesome, man. I'll sub back. I sub back anybody that subs to me, y'all. If you sub me, I'm going to sub you back. That was much needed. You're welcome, Hayden. Hayden Lee Master. That's what I'm talking about. Been a pleasure spending time with you, boss. I enjoyed your expertise and all of the tips you gave us. I also enjoy other people's questions and responses. Thank you so much, bro. That's what it's all about, man. I enjoy. That's what I'm talking about. People get in here. Y'all ask me questions. I like talking about fishing while we're building these rods on here. Heck yeah. I want to know what kind of fish you caught today. You're dang right. You know what I mean? That's all about that. You know what I mean? I want to know the biggest catfish you ever caught. You know what I mean? What kind of lure do you use when it's raining? What do you use in the spring and the summer? I want to talk about all that stuff, y'all. So make sure y'all are always talking about that. I don't mind talking. And I do get to working a little bit, and I'm getting a lot better at that, y'all. Over the last year, I've been doing these lives where I'm looking at the comments a little more. When I get to rod building, I get a little sidetracked, but I don't mind sharing stories and all that stuff, everybody. I enjoy all that stuff. We're going to have to get off here, y'all. It's a little after midnight. I got to get up and go to work in the morning, like I said. Unfortunately, I don't make a living off this. I make a living doing other things that I don't really like as much as this, so we're going to have to get some rest for that. Thumpum said he's also out. Man, appreciate you hanging out with me, Dan. We'll get up with you, brother. We'll get up with you. Tomorrow's a long day. Everybody, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me tonight. Enjoyed y'all rocking out the live. I'll probably be on here again tomorrow night. We got a couple more things, put a few more tips on. Got to put a couple of coats of epoxy on, like always. We'll get on here and shoot around and talk a little bit and do a little more rod building tomorrow night, y'all. North Shores rocks. We'll see you, man. We'll see you around, brother. We'll be on here tomorrow night. We'll check in next time, y'all. Hey, whatever y'all do, don't let tomorrow kick your butt. Kick tomorrow's butt. You know what I mean? You can do it. Big Ass Rods gives you the approval. If you gotta kick Tuesday's butt tomorrow, do that. That's what I'm gonna do if it gets in my way of Friday. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to get cold here tonight too, here on the East Coast, y'all. Make sure y'all bundle up. Till next time, Big Ass Rods, get ready to sign off.